Hello everyone and welcome back to another BedWars video. So this is the single-handedly most requested video on this channel, and a couple weeks ago I told you guys to get this video right here to 100 likes and I would do this solo tips and tricks video, and you guys did that pretty easily, might I add. I am a man of my word. Yes, I procrastinated a lot on this video, but it's done now, so yeah. I've been playing BedWars since Prototype, and when I first started playing, I was like, I hate this game. I do not like BedWars. I will never play this game. And now I make money off of it. How the turntables. Well, I know you want to learn how to get good at BedWars from a guy who's like top 25 on solo lifetime with only 300 stars. Yeah, I know. World record holder. Yeah, I know. So without any further ado, let's get right into this video. I say this all the time, and I probably always will, but BedWars is definitely 80% game sense and 20% PvP. Great game sense just beats more skillful players if they don't have it. But there are a few things that you should have before you can improve on many things with game sense and PvP. 1. Have a PvP client. Running Minecraft on the default launcher gives you a huge disadvantage, especially if you are on a budget PC or laptop. Clients boost frames per second and give you access to PvP related mods. The most popular clients are Badline, which I personally use, Lunar, and Labymon. The download links are in the description of this video and are available to both Windows and Mac computers. Keep in mind that these are not hacked clients. Hacked clients are clients where you can access cheats. Cheating is not only not fun, but it ruins other players' experiences. Don't do it. 2. Speed bridging. Speed bridging is a very simple idea. It is a way to bridge faster. Normally when bridging you would remain crouched. Speed bridging is just timing your crouches so that you're not crouched when you walk over the block, and you re-crouch to place another block. It takes around 30 minutes to learn and will help you win games and save you tons of time. 3. Cursor accuracy. Aiming is a huge part of any FPS game, and because Minecraft PvP relies on tracking in the first person, it can be considered a first-person shooter. If your accuracy is not the best, it may be wise to turn down your sensitivity and your FOV, as it makes it easier to aim. I personally have a very heavy mouse and low sensitivity, and this helps me out a lot with my PvP and aiming skills. It's also great to have a PvP based crosshair where you can see through the crosshair to make sure that you have your crosshair on your opponent. I use a circle crosshair so that I can see through it and I know exactly what's going on, but I still know where I am aiming. As I said earlier, PvP is 1/5 of everything in BedWars. Considering BedWars is a PvP based game, there are some things that you should definitely be doing to be winning fights. And these are very, very basic things. PvP is not very difficult, but it's almost like playing an instrument. It's very easy to learn the basics of an instrument, but it is extremely difficult to be able to master the instrument. And that mastering the instrument takes hours and hours and hours and hours of practice. But there are some basics that you can learn on and you can practice. And these are situational block hitting, situational W and S tapping, and strafing. These are 3 things that you can always improve on. Situational block hitting, the goal is to block your sword or right click if you're on 1.8.9, which you should be on 1.8.9 if you are playing BedWars, to take less damage from a hit. When you do this, you also take less knockback. And you can figure this out. You can see, oh, should I swing first? Should I block it first? And after a lot of practice, you'll be able to reliably start doing it. Now, it's not good to just spam it. A lot of people like spamming it, but don't do that. There's definitely some times where you should be block hitting. If you're trading hits in a fight, which means that you're both hitting each other the same amount of times, then you should be block hitting because you'll be taking less damage, which means that they'll be taking more than you, which means that you'll win. With W and S tapping, it's not as vital as block hitting and strafe patterns, but you should know how to do these. And sometimes you'll even do it subconsciously. I used to do that when I was playing like around 100 stars. I didn't know anything really about PvP, and I looked back on some of my old footage and I saw that I was S-tapping and I didn't even know what it was. So you may already be doing some of these things, and it's just a matter of being able to control it. So W tapping is when you let go of W after you hit the person. And this will cause them to miss their hit because they think that you're going to be going forward, because they are going to be swinging at you, and then you can hit them again and the process repeats itself. If someone is W tapping on you perfectly, there is almost no way to break the combo or start one of your own unless you are W or S tapping. And these build combos on your opponent, and if you get the first 2 hits, you basically win the fight. It's also a good idea to use this if your opponent is block hitting, and it's a really good idea to be doing this against a good opponent who is clicking faster than you, or if they have more health than you. And strafing is obviously really important. You definitely don't want to be getting hit as much, so if you dodge some hits, or if you just confuse your opponent, then it will help you so much. And just having good positioning is so important in BedWars. If you're on an edge, you need to think about what your opponent needs to do to hit you off that edge, and you want to avoid that. You do not want to get hit off an edge, ever. It is one of the things that I struggled with, and a lot of people still struggle with, and a lot of people probably will struggle with this for a very long time, because it's so hard to think ahead of what your opponent can do the second you step on a block. So there's hundreds of different combinations, and you just want to make sure that most of the combinations that happen will not result in you getting thrown off the map. So practice your strafing. It will help you. Solo BedWars is the most difficult BedWars mode. With other modes, you have one or more teammates that can back you up and help you when you make a mistake, but in solos, you're alone. One mistake can cost you the entire game instantly. This makes BedWars the single most competitive PvP game on Hypixel. Now keep in mind that a lot of players are completely unnecessarily toxic, just because of how competitive this mode is. But give people the benefit of the doubt, they may just be having a bad day. The key to winning BedWars is to have a great mindset. Looking down on other players for being trash will only hurt you. Being competitive is fine, but being toxic is not. Now that we are on the same page, let's teach you how to play some mean solo BedWars. The main ingredient in my formula for winning solo BedWars is speed. Playing faster than your opponent is critical for forcing mistakes. On the first rush, you must know how many blocks it takes to get to the base next to you. Knowing this gives you time to prepare and time to form an attack. Attacking first will give the element of surprise but may leave you vulnerable. While defending your bed forces you to kill the attacker. If you were to lose that fight, you would almost certainly lose your bed. Knowing where to rush is also important. Many people do not rush correctly. Generally, you would want to rush to the base closest to you, but sometimes this just isn't the case. Learning this just comes from experience on each map, and more time spent in the game will definitely help you with this. When you rush your opponent, killing them on the first rush at their base almost always secures a bed break. But if you're above them, wait for them to stand on their bed defense. A lot of people don't know this, but the bed defense is the easiest place to get knocked into the void on your base. So if you're defending, don't stand on your bed defense. And if you're attacking, wait for them to. Buying TNT will definitely help you if you are above people, but buying TNT can be risky because if you lose it, you're not getting that 4 gold back that you could be using to save for iron armor. The first rush is the most PvP based part of the game, and oftentimes it's the most thrilling. Make sure that you're playing this as smart as you can, but if you are losing a lot of your first rushes, you need to work on your PvP. The second rush is the biggest part of the game. It's also the most strategic. To begin, let's talk about natural rushes. Natural rushing is the single-handedly most important concept in solo BedWars, so pay attention. This is how you avoid getting cross-teamed on. It's a fairly simple concept that I and a few others came up with, and it works really, really well. Think of the normal map as a square. We'll use the map Speedway as an example. Each map is divided into 4 parts. Because Speedway's first rush should be diagonal, divide the parts like this. Now let's take a step back to 6th grade math where you learned what quadrants were. We'll call this quadrant 1, this quadrant 2, this quadrant 3, and this quadrant 4. Think of yourself as always in quadrant 1. The person that is in your quadrant is your first rush. You want to take them out as quickly as you can. Now, natural rush is a person in a quadrant next to yours that has also taken out their first rush. So let's say we're gray. We take out red, and blue takes out green. Blue is now our natural rush. But if pink also took out white, that means that we have 2 natural rushes, which means that we have a high chance to be getting cross-teamed on. The person in quadrant 3, even if they do take out a bed and a final first, should not be pushing you unless they're specifically targeting you. This is what I call an odd rush, because these people should be either your third base that you take out or your last one. So you shouldn't really have to worry about people all the way across the map. Now there's 3 things you can do after you take out your first rush. 1, get diamonds. 2, rush a natural. Or 3, get emeralds. You would only want to get emeralds if you don't have a natural, because your natural will probably push you. So you want to fight your natural as soon as possible. Remember, solo BedWars is about speed and outplaying your opponent. It may be a good idea to get diamonds before you rush your natural. It just depends on the game. It just depends on the situation. But make sure you follow this formula, because this formula will definitely help you. If you do have 2 naturals, it's a very good idea to wait, defend, and take your time, because you want your odd rush to take out their first rush, because once they do that, then they can start pushing one of your naturals as well, because you share that natural. Now there are specific scenarios where you should push your odd rush, but it's so rare that I really don't want to cover it. But I will say, if it looks like the people in the 2nd and the 4th quadrant are going to be fighting for a while, you might want to push your odd rush if they've already taken out their natural, because they're probably going to be getting emeralds, or probably going to be getting diamonds. There's so many things that they can be doing, and you want to stop that. The final rush is probably the easiest part of the game. There's only 1 person left. Sometimes there's 2. If there's 2 people left, they're still fighting. Then it's even easier because they're already weak. They don't have diamond upgrades. They don't have emerald upgrades. It's pretty easy to take care of them. And if you've been following along, you should have taken out at least 2 bases by this point. Maybe even 3 if you felt like it, and maybe you could. This is where you start improving your FKDR. When you're winning games like this, you're playing smart, you're playing like a professional, and you're getting bed breaks, and you're killing people, and it's really fun. Once you get into it, it gets really, really fun. People are always like, oh, solo BedWars, it's so boring, my brain melts after the first 3 games. But when you play solo right, it is beautiful. It is one of the single best feelings that I've had. It's a rush. It's a thrill. It's like riding a roller coaster for me. It's amazing. And the final rush, you really start to get that feeling. The tension's on. You took out these 4 bases. There's 1 guy left. All you have to do is kill him. And that's where people choke. So my best advice for you on the final rush is to keep your cool. Don't start freaking out just because there's 1 guy left. A lot of people do this. Don't type, don't say anything, just focus on getting his bed and getting that kill. And if he doesn't have a bed, it's even easier. Unless he's got a punch bow, then well, rest in peace your feelings. But once you get to this point in the game, you should have, I'd say, sharp, prot 1, prot 2. And if you need it, the last guy's really good, get prot 3, get like diamond armor or something. Get potions if you really need them, if the guy's that good. That doesn't happen all the time, because if the guy on the other team is really good, then your games are taking like 2 minutes, because you're both taking out your naturals almost instantly. If you ever find yourself against a good player, you're going to be taking out naturals very fast. Just keep your head held high. Just keep cool, keep calm, focus. Focus on your PvP. Focus on your block placement, focus on your bridging, focus on your items. And then that's all there is to it. So I'm not going to talk too much about grinding because obviously it's a secret. I don't want people passing me on the leaderboard. I don't want people, no lifing. And I screwed myself. I shot myself in the foot because I told them how to do it. But I will say that it's all in your mind. It's all a mindset. You got to figure out how to get in that mindset. You got to figure out how to stay in that mindset. But it's about speed and it's about your mindset. And that's all I'm going to say because I don't want you nerds passing me. Now, I didn't really talk too much about items during this video, and that's just because that's something that just comes with experience. There's no way that you're going to be able to know what all the items do, and I don't really feel like taking 30 minutes out of my day to explain what each and every item does. But I will talk about underused and underrated items. First item that I'm going to talk about that is absolutely amazing, that people always glance over, is the diamond sword. The diamond sword is very, very useful, and it cuts through everything. The guy's got diamond armor, diamond sword, you're dead. The guy's got iron armor prot 3, diamond sword, you're dead. The guy's got clean leather, it's literally just like slicing butter with a katana. Definitely use diamond swords. And there's also one secret item that I've never actually shown myself using that is very, very handy dandy. And guess what that is? The silverfish. It costs the same as a fireball, but it can save your life. If a guy is invis against you, the silverfish will find him because silverfish don't care about invis. They are just like golems and will go right for the player. So if you're ever in like a little invis standoff when both of you are invis, if you throw a silverfish, you'll be able to find that player. And it also keeps them distracted with PvP, messes up their movements, and you get free combos. It's epic. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This video took a very, very long time to make. And in case you haven't noticed, I haven't uploaded in like a week and a half. And this video is the primary reason. So if you could, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. It would really, really, really help me out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. I will see you all in the next video. Bye!